Welcome to the Featured Anime Podcast. I'm your host, Jack.
And I'm Rick.
And today we are talking about Aharen Season 2, which was a continuation of the recommendation from Jeb. Thank you for the recommendation. Very much appreciated.
Yeah, sincerely appreciate it.
But before that, if you were joining us live, you heard the entire first half of the conversation. If you are a patron, you get to hear the second half of the conversation, which is the most important half of the conversation, where CJ drops in and chats with us for a little bit, talking about poggers and talking about Beyblade and Celsius and all kinds of random stuff. If you want to hear a part of that wider conversation, go to patreon.com/featuredanime podcast. $1 a month to get you access to that bonus content. And thank you, CJ from Anime Anonymous, another great podcast, for joining us and hanging out with us in the pre-show. And
had a good time.
Indeed. If you also want to support us through other means, you can also go to our affiliate links in the show notes for Crunchyroll and check out the links down there for that. And then, of course, let's not forget about Tokyo Treats. Nice, wonderful, delicious, wholesome treats that are perfect for your belly. And if you use coupon code Featured Anime, get $5 off that very first box along with our affiliate link. And trust me, it is worth it. And of course, don't forget about our wonderful swag that is on shop.featuredanimepodcast.com. And then everything's on featuredanimepodcast.com. And now, on to the meat and potatoes. Aharen-san is Indecipherable. Is produced by Billy, Suecia, and then ATX. The studio for it is Flex Film. It aired from April this year, 2025 through June 2025. It is a romance comedy school slice of life. It's based off of a manga and it's 12 episodes long. Now, season two picks up right where season one left off, which is basically our main protagonists. Both of them, Raido and Aharen, are a couple now, and they're entering their second year of high school. They are basically going through the entire portion of it with some awkward, intimate moments. And then in general, just how teen romances are generally awkward. This is par for the course for that. The tone, it is still a very slow burn like it was in season one, but it also has some of that deadpan humor that also kind of endeared us towards it at the exact same time. You have heart, you have that growth, and you have a very big, fast push towards an actual ending. So, but what's new? The biggest change, we have new characters that are introduced into the series, along with some other characters kind of growing into their own, getting more screen time, along with a crazy time skip at the end. Which we may or may not touch on.
Questions that aren't answered.
Yeah.
I was just saying, and a few questions that I'm not gonna say desperately want, but ones that I was like, what's going on? There's a plot line here that I personally feel was never resolved. I'm hoping I missed something because, I'm hoping you'll be like, oh yeah, no, this happened. Okay, that makes so much more sense. I'm glad they did that. But yeah, there's a massive plot hole that I'm like, plot line that I'm like, what was all that for even?
Right. So
anyway,
in general, I feel like that's a pretty solid and fair synopsis of the show.
Yeah. The good news is there are no, what do you call them? Recap episodes. Well, maybe if you include the last one, the very, very last episode might be considered a recap episode, depending on how you view it. But other than that, each video or each episode kind of goes in chronological order with appropriate progressions. And yes, while there are new characters, you realize the reason why Aharen is so quiet and so withdrawn into herself is because of one of the characters were introduced into season 2.
No, not necessarily.
It was
not necessarily. She felt the reason why that the character was completely withdrawn was because of how she was. She had always
Well, no, I
been
thought that.
quiet like that.
Okay.
And
I thought that she withdrew herself because the chick had to move away, and she took that very poorly. And that's the whole trauma thing of in the very first episode of the first season, where she goes like, I was really close to a friend before that I thought, and I overstepped, I overshared, and they ran away from me, leaving me.
yeah, it's not
That's what
that
I thought.
they didn't move away until later, but the reason why she's withdrawn is because the friend kind of just like forced herself on her and being a friend, like how she did that second time. And then,
Yeah.
okay. And her friend, and it's going to bug me if I don't get the name. So bear with me. It's,
Oh, no, take your time, because it was a forgettable name for me.
yeah, it's, Riku. Her name is Riku.
Yeah, Riku.
Okay. She basically forced herself on Aharen and took her away from it, and basically immediately was telling Aharen, hey, we're BFFs. And that's kind of what she did even in the first not in the first season, but what she did when they were younger as kids. And she did the exact same thing. And that's why she started withdrawing, because she felt like it was too much. She read into Aharen's demeanor, how she reacted, how she spoke, and everything like that, like it was too much. And it wasn't that. What it was that, and Aharen was happy that someone actually made a friend with her, and that she was had a friend with someone, and when she pulled away and was just kind of really standoffish and everything else, that's what broke her. She's not withdrawn necessarily because of that. She was withdrawn. It just made it worse.
Yeah. I mean, you're not wrong. And the one thing I take away from season 2 is Raido is nuts, but he's not the only one. Everyone is nuts. Everyone overthinks. Everyone goes to the illogical extreme.
Yes.
It was endearing when it was just Raido, because he seemed very genuine and he seemed very authentic. But the fact that everyone is doing it takes away from the specialness, I personally feel. Like, it makes his character less unique and less desirable is not the right way to put it, but like, I wanted to see him on screen because I was wondering when everyone started doing it, they became interchangeable. Like, and not in like a really good way, which there very rarely is a good way to become interchangeable with others. But the characters kind of showed up as a one-dimensional thing instead of like a more fleshed out thing like they had been in the first season.
Yeah.
Did I get that wrong, or you felt that too?
So you're talking about how the new characters weren't as fleshed out in season 2, like the characters were fleshed out.
They were fleshed out to the extent that you learn about them, but I feel like because of their mindset was so very similar to Raido, they didn't really stand out except from appearance. That's what I mean. Like to give you an idea, when I forget her name, you just said it,
Riku.
Riku. When Riku was going through her what if scenario, it was cookie cutter from Raido. Well, this could happen, this could happen, this could happen. Oh no, this is what's happening. Oh no, I can't do that possibly because I've already come to this permanent conclusion.
Right.
Oh, I was wrong. Oh, yeah. It's much less than that. Okay.
Yeah, the normal socially awkward teen angst that people have, right?
But people don't go to the logical extreme. No. The illogical extreme that Raido goes to.
Some people don't. Some people do. You can't say people don't. Right? You can't say that people don't go to the logical extreme that he does, or that even Riku does, because people do. People 100% actually do go to a logical extreme like that. Like they, for whatever reason, or they'll sit there and they'll go to the logical extreme and they'll just throw it out there for everyone and then have that instant regret. Right?
But it's not the logical, it's the illogical extreme. The stuff that should never, could never, will never happen. Like, Aharen is not a mob boss. She doesn't live in a crime syndicate family.
You don't know that. She could have.
Hey, we saw her mother.
And?
We guarantee it's not a crime-ridden family.
Hey.
You don't see it. You don't see parents in anime when it's a crime-ridden family.
Yeah, you do.
Typically.
Yeah, you
Really?
do. Yeah.
I'm going to challenge you on that one. Name one.
Yakuza Fiance.
That doesn't count.
Yes, it does. The daughter.
No, it doesn't.
There's another one too where I can't remember the name, but we actually did a podcast episode, or I did the episode on it, where basically the mob boss is having his basically fixer or whatever take care of his daughter. Hitman Reborn.
See, we're not going that route because we're not going to defame Hitman Reborn like that. That's not fair. That anime is easily over, probably over 200 episodes long, which puts it in a class of its own.
You have been been given 3 examples.
That's is it hard to breathe in here? Is it just me?
You have been given 3 examples.
Yeah, there's just some caught in my throat.
And then CJ says it's 199 episodes too many.
Blasphemy. Blasphemy, I say.
So yes, you do. You totally do see the parents.
So there might be 1 or 2 episodes that are shows that are similar.
Oh, there's a lot more that are out there. There's a lot more there's a lot more that are out there. Come on.
None that I thought of off the top of my head, and I definitely did not make the connection for Hitman Reborn, which is a phenomenal show, by the way. Highly recommended. Very long, but good.
Never grabbed me.
Yeah, I don't know how.
I watched like the first episode and I forgot about it until CJ brought it up in chat. So there you go. That's where my mind was with that.
Fair enough. Last time I saw it, or last time I finished the episode, it got... We'll talk about it later. Anyway, if you can remind me, I got more stuff to talk about on that because it deals with other conversations.
I will remind you.
Appreciate you. I just felt like they took the uniqueness away from Raido and his overthinking, just insanity.
I don't think so.
It to he still has it, but they gave it to all the other characters too.
I don't think so.
His sister, for one, goes nuts.
How so?
She goes through a scenario. I forget exactly what it was, but she goes through a scenario where like she's gonna have to pick up some ransom money because Raido is now something about gambling losses and stuff like that. And I was like, and he shows up and nothing of that. She goes, oh, I was just overreacting. Now, one thing I thought was hilarious, funny beyond what it should have been. Raido starts to see himself for the absurdity that he's going through. And then he steps back and goes, that's not possible. That's not it. No, that could be. Nope, that's not it. For like maybe 3 or 4 minutes, he keeps going back and forth and back. Nope, don't be crazy. That didn't happen. That obviously. And his most outlandish scenario actually did happen, which makes the most funny, the most comedy. Like I had to pause it because I was laughing so hard.
Yeah, there were moments
because my expectation was just so low.
Right. There were certainly some moments and points in there where it was hilarious, where the comedy was just on point for it. And I agree, he did take a step back and look at it and go, yes, I 100% am taking this too far. It's too much of the illogical extreme or whatever. But then at the exact same time, when he's thinking that's not possible, it ends up being possible, or it ends up being the case.
Oh yeah, it ends up being it ends up being exactly that.
So,
but it was, again, that part was a little bit predictable because I noticed that. I was like, oh, this is nice. Wait, no. Oh. The one time it would make sense is the one time you're discounting everything. Go figure. Plot.
Yeah, of course. Why not?
Also, one of the things that kept... Okay.
I was going to say, but luckily, it's only 12 episodes long. Sadly,
yes,
it's 12 episodes long. Also, weirdly, like here's one of the pain points, one of the problems that I had with it. Season 1 was the entirety of their freshman year. And then you have season 2, and it starts them off in basically the second year of high school for them. They only have 3 years. The issue that I have is that for 8 episodes, you just have 8 episodes of their second year in high school, and then it fast tracks it for their senior year, and then it fast tracks it way after that. And you do it at breakneck speeds to where no joke, for the last episode, thought it was an OVA or a separate story or him just be in his mind or whatever it is, just completely random. And I was sorely mistaken.
Yeah. I wish I could add more to that, but I can't, because you're not wrong in any part of that. I did. Okay, so what I will add, did you notice any almost copyrighted stuff?
A lot. There's a lot, but they do that a lot anyways with a lot of the anime shows. So that's nothing new.
Super Smash Bros.
Yeah. Whack Donald's. They have the McBurgers, they have fake restaurant names and everything like that. Is nothing new.
Well, I was so
they have even do that with like the console names. Yeah,
but they were doing that with characters and stuff like that. Like Raido was like, I'm gonna draw an action figure. It was the same character from Food Wars. Soma, I think his name is, from Food Wars.
No,
and then he drew it again.
It wasn't.
No,
that was from Jujutsu Kaisen, and then they did Anya from Spy Family for the manga characters.
Okay, so yeah, I was right then. And I was like, I couldn't figure out where that little girl was from, and I was like, I'm gonna ask you because you're gonna remember. And yeah, Spy Family. So I didn't realize that they were able to, like, cross-platform is not the right way to put it, but do like call-outs to other series with little to no repercussions. We assume. I don't know what the repercussions could have been, but
well, they have pretty strict copyright laws. So if I remember correctly, they probably have either the producers are tied to them in somehow, or they have permission to be able to do that.
Makes sense. Definitely makes sense. So, but it's
because honestly, it's not unusual, especially if the creator is giving their blessing as well, to have a cross over or just straight up copy of it, because the creators for Naruto and One Piece were great friends, and you have constant crossovers and references in the mangas in general for them.
Okay. Makes sense. That makes definite sense. I thought that Billy was
Billy's one of the producers.
I thought Billy was the animator. That makes
Flex
makes
Film,
way more sense than what I was thinking.
Flex Film is the studio, but you have production companies. So like Shueisha is the original manga publisher, and they provided all the source material, and they were part of the production committee for it as well for this series.
Okay. Yeah, I could see that. Okay, that makes sense.
And Shueisha is also one of the producers for Jujutsu Kaisen. And if they're a part of Jujutsu Kaisen, then they're going to also be a part of, more than likely, a part of Spy Family, if I remember correctly.
That would make sense. Again, they drew one of the characters poorly, I might add, but they still drew it recognizably. So, yeah, I hate to say it, I don't have too much more to talk about without going into severe spoiler territory. They did have a failed confession, which I thought was unique, but they had a storyline to go along with it that they just did not finish, and I'm not quite sure what's going on with that. And I could not identify when our main characters got body pillows of each other in their rooms. Now, I know when the birthday exchange happened, but like I didn't notice. I don't know where they picked them up before. So
yeah,
quite in my mind. But the unrequited love, the the confession that fell on deaf ears. I felt like they were going to expand on that eventually. I was going to say cut it in, but there's really nothing to cut in. And they never did. They kind of glanced over it. So I was like, I don't know, like who's his love interest? Who is the love interest? You know?
For
But
Raido's friend, the guy Irumakun.
yeah, I want to say it's like Akamune.
Yeah, well, like just from the inference and from them,
You assume
spending the night together, that, and from what he says, how he acts and everything like that, and the fact that he avoids hanging out with Raido and Aharen when it's them together, he doesn't want really anything to do with it. I would be surprised if it wasn't that. They don't come out right and say it, but come on.
I mean, it could have gone two ways. He either likes Aharen or he likes Raido.
No, that's honestly no, because if he did like Raido, he wouldn't have said, "You better take care of her."
Okay, that leads credence to your theory on that. It makes sense. It makes beautiful sense, but I feel like it was just too much of a. It was just too much. Like I was gonna say, it was too much of something, but I can't really think of like an obstacle. It was too much of a ambiguous plot line. Like it's the one thing in this whole series that I feel like didn't fit blatantly so.
Well, you got to add a little mix up to it every once in a while. You can't just like give it all away. You can't just go all out and expect
give it away.
Exactly. But honestly, we're kind of dancing around the end, and it's mainly because I feel like you should watch the end. It wouldn't be bad for you to watch it. It's not a great show. They do a lot of cameos. They do a lot of points where it's just hilarious and everything like that. It is a lot of heartfelt, touching moments, seeing the character growth and the bond between Aharen and Raido grow. Again, it goes right in hand with that rom-com slice of life moment. However, the slice of life portion of it, I feel, is not true, especially for the last like 4 episodes.
At all. The pacing for that's completely off.
Exactly. Like
well, not just that, but go ahead.
I was gonna say, I feel like they rushed it. Like they said, we're not gonna get a second season or a third season rather. What do? Wrap it up, done. And that's what they did. I feel honestly that's what they did. In all honesty, that's my honest opinion. They knew they weren't going to get a season 3.
They had to cut it short.
They knew they weren't going to get a season 3. They had to
cut it short, and then
that's it. Period. All right. That's all I got.
It works. Yeah, unfortunately, unfortunately, I want to. I genuinely do, but I don't.
Yep.
So.
Okay. All right.
I think we're ready for a rating.
Indeed. So on a scale of up to 10, how would you rate this?
So this one, we rated the last one as a 7.
Mm-hmm.
This one drops to a 5. And the reason it drops to a 5, for me, is Raido was no longer an independent, individual character. They cookie-cuttered people off of that idea of being awkward and stuff like that. They backloaded the heck out of this anime. Like, yeah, they gave you an appropriate ending and whatnot, but they backloaded the heck out of this. Yeah. So I'm giving it a 5. If they would have spaced it out more, if the pacing was better, if the story was a little bit less sporadic, then it would probably get a higher score. But as it stands, I got 5. And you?
I'm going to give it a 4. And the reason why I'm giving it a 4 is because of all the negatives that we already talked about, the negatives that we said. Honestly, especially the last 4 episodes, just really, while they were entertaining, it really left a bad taste in my mouth. It just did not, especially the last episode, just did not fit. Made no sense. It just didn't fit. There was a lot that just really detracted it from me. It's a cute show. It's worth a watch, but there's more negative than positive in my mind for it. So that's why I'm going with a 4.
Okay.
Yep.
I'm honestly very surprised by that. I thought I was going pretty low with a 5. I think it deserves pretty low, but like, yeah, I'm just surprised you went lower than me.
Oh. I watched it, and honestly, this season especially was kind of a drudge to try and get through. It did have funny moments, but it felt like a lot longer than 12 episodes. It really did. Time length wise, it felt like the shows were, or the episodes were really, really long, and not in a good way. It just like,
just dragging.
Yeah, I found myself constantly moving the mouse or hitting pause just to see how much time was left, only to realize, oh, God,
3 minutes in.
I just barely made it past the opening scene, and I'm already checking the time. This is not great. That's why. So next week is actually your choice, Rick. And
it's my choice, yeah.
Yeah, and you said you wanted to do The Executioner and Her Way of Life for next week's choice.
Yeah, I remember you talking about it a while ago, and the fact that it's out in its entirety makes me want to say, give it a shot.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you this right now. It's a unique isekai, for sure. Does not take the normal route that you would expect at all. So,
yeah, I look forward to it.
Indeed, me too. But that's all the time that we have for today. If you feel like we did too much justice or not enough justice, feel free to let us know. You can reach out to us. All the contact information is available on featuredanimepodcast.com as well. And then you can also reach out to us on Discord. Come talk to us, hang out with us there, and have fun. And until next time, I'm Jack.
I'm Rick. And we'll see you next time.